Move on to this
Yeah.
incredible new study. It says older people with exceptional memory have a higher number of young neurons than people whose memories get worse as they age. They're called super agers.
Super agers. Don't you want to be a super ager?
100%, especially when
Totally.
I'm in my 80s and 90s.
Yeah. No, I think, listen, I think the train's left that station in my case, but let me tell you, the authors looked at brain samples from donors. Thanks. I appreciate that. And what are we talking about? The authors looked at brain samples from donors. Some of them were young adults. Some were super agers, people older than 80. And this sort of like changes the game because for the longest time, scientists didn't think that we could grow new neurons, that the number of neurons you had were kind of locked in when you were a young child.
Right.
And now we're learning not the case necessarily.
Yeah, and they have a lot of data to back this up because sometimes you hear about those studies or researchers who go out for a few years, study a small sample group, and then make such a big claim. Well, in this case, they were following these so-called super agers around for 25 years, noticing that their memory is sharp as a tack, that they're incredibly plugged in socially. They could recall, portions of history that even younger adults have a hard time to. So what was so interesting about this particular group? Here's what one researcher had to say.
Neurogenesis basically is the ability of the brain to produce newly born neurons. And most people growing up would think that they are born with all the number of neurons that they will ever have throughout their life. But we now know that certain areas of the brain, specifically the hippocampus, which is very important in learning and memory, is able to produce these new neurons throughout life in humans.
Wow, it's like being in science class all over again, Brian.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
I mean, science
absolutely.
is
I want to know the secret. I want to be a super ager.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because we talked to a scientist at the University of Utah who has an idea of how we can help ourselves get there or at least give ourselves the best chances of success in that realm. Let's take a listen to that.
Aerobic exercise can help to reduce the risk of dementia in the future, but all types of exercise are beneficial. So having a healthy lifestyle, being physically active is very important. Another big characteristic of super agers is that they engage in challenging cognitive activity. They're exercising their brains, not just their bodies. And that really seems to be protective against dementia.
Okay, so get your exercise, stay social, stay engaged, and by and this research could lead to treatments for things like Alzheimer's and cognitive decline in the future.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, a lot more information on the Alzheimer's Association website.
Yeah, go check it out.
Let's go to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the weather and some cool things they're doing over down in Zion.
Yeah.